decided that I was going to commit suicide. Because the one person that had no reason to hurt me on this earth was the presiding officer in the court, the judge. And the other one, as far as I'm concerned, was God. I was going to give him his life back. And I decided that I didn't want to hurt people that didn't deserve to be hurt. So I wrote letters on the computer and I prepared. Every single person who could possibly feel hurt or guilty for what I was about to do would receive a letter from me. And a week before I was going to go to the judge's house, where I knew he stayed, and hand him a letter, and then pour petrol over myself and set myself alight in front of everybody in his house, in his street. I went to a shop, and in that shop I bought what I had to, and when I came to pay at the counter, I saw the most loving eyes I've ever come across. The little green booklet that you have in front of you, those eyes looked at me, and I felt a whole hatred that I had built up over 3 years of fighting in the industrial court, like falling away from me. And there was a little notice to say that there was a messenger available to talk, and there would be a meeting. And the little voice talked to me and said, take the notice down and take the booklet. I didn't take the details of the message, of the venue, but I did take the booklet. I paid what I had to, made a joke with the lady, and went home. And when I came home, those eyes kept on looking at me, and I was touched. And I thought, no, I had to do something. So I phoned the shop and I said, listen, there was a notice there. Please tell me what the notice is. What is the telephone number? Because I want to contact these people. And the lady said to me, I'm sorry, sir. The manager does not allow any booklets, leaflets, or pamphlets or whatever on the wall, and certainly not on the counter. So I said, but I asked you for a little booklet, whether I could have one. And you said, yes, help yourself. She said, I didn't, because there never was a booklet in front of me. I said, but there was, I've got it in front of me. She said, sir, I remember exactly what you bought. I can tell you how you paid for it, you know, in monetary values, and what coins and so on you gave me. And I can promise you it wasn't there. Please, she said, do me a favor, look in the back of the booklet and phone the people there. You might find a telephone number there. But leave me in peace. I got work to do. So I phoned that book. I looked in the back and I got the telephone number and I phoned. And eventually I received a convenient method of meditation, which, as was explained, you just have to be a vegetarian for 10 days. Now, I used to eat a lot of meat. And when I say I used to eat a lot of meat, I mean it. And from the one day to the next, I didn't touch a piece of meat. I haven't eaten an egg since. I don't eat chicken, although I could eat a whole chicken by myself. Not a problem. Not that I'm proud of it. But I realized that since I didn't give life to any animal on this earth, who am I to take that right and deprive that animal of its life? Because all animals value their lives. The moment they know that they're going to lose their lives, they defend it. Every one of us, we value our lives. And we value our lives because we realize that we are here on this earth to learn what it is we've forgotten. As far as I'm concerned, what we are here to learn is to learn that, one, we've got to love the person, he or her, whatever you want to call it, the Creator. Call him Allah, call him God, call him Pampoon for like him. And whilst before I wanted to revenge on him, that is gone. That hatred which I had is completely gone. I have now more compassion towards my fellow human being. I try to be also more understanding, more tolerant towards my daughter, towards my son, towards my fellow human being. You know, we are different people the moment we are behind the wheel. We can have a beautiful girl and we will smile at her, but put her behind the wheel and you go behind the wheel. My boy, you got somebody else there. And when it is particularly to take a parking, and that woman is going to take your parking, you know what you do with her. You jump in front of her. Now, to learn that, to undo 60 years, that's what I will be next month. 60 years of bad habit. Takes a lot of working. But I must say that meditation, throughout the day, an awareness also of why we are here, has helped me to become a calmer person, a more satisfied person, a more compassionate person, I believe. I've learned that money is not everything. Status is not everything. In fact, it is there, gone in 1 second. That's what happened to me. Everything that I valued in a split second was gone. And unless we go through life appreciating and being thankful for what we have, we may lose it just like that. And the same with our life. Now, I'm not trying to impress you on the physical side or benefit of the Kuan Yin method of meditation. But 2 years ago, I suffered 4 heart attacks, 2 of which were deadly. The blockage was right on the top, where it starts splitting. I experienced the most extreme pain that you can possibly imagine. The best way for me to describe it to you is to say, imagine you had pins and needles, times 1,000,000 times from top to bottom. And whilst I was experiencing that pain, I felt that there was a woman that was caressing my hand, and I also felt enveloped by love. And I was quite, in spite of that pain, I was actually quite calm and peaceful. 6 months later, I went for a checkup at the hospital. And they put me through the paces. You know this thing that you go to walk? You walk up, they make it tighter and they make it faster. And the specialist kept on looking at me like this, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I thought, what's his problem? And he said to me, are you okay? So I said, no, I'm okay, no problem. I said, you all right? So I said, I'm all right. I did 95% of the test. And when I finished with it, eventually that 95%, at one stage I said to him, you know, I feel a little bit tired here, you know? So he said, stop. So I stopped. He said, my friend, you're fine.